What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Awakened Toast here, and today welcome back to another VR video on the channel. But today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than what we normally do for a lot of our gameplay videos. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be reviewing a new and upcoming title known as Unrecord. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen all sorts of articles about this, whether it be on Twitter, YouTube, or even just news outlets covering the fact of how realistic this game is. And when I saw this trailer, I'm still like kind of hesitant. I'm not sure if it's actually like 100% truthful, but if it actually is and like the gameplay owns up to what this actually is, I'm gonna be more than impressed to see how the gameplay actually feels throughout it, because from what I've seen in the trailer, there's a lot more free looking, which is very like VR heavy, and I'm sitting here thinking like, man, this game as like a flat screen title would work so perfectly in a VR environment, like having like the body cam style and whatever. Like it just screams VR to me. And what I want to do today is I want to go and review the trailer, just kind of showcase it on the channel, talk and discuss a little bit about it, and then mention something that's a bit up and coming that I saw as a recent post. So without further ado, I'm gonna go and hop into this. If you do end up enjoying this video and would like to see more content made on this channel, then be sure to smash that motherfrackin' thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, so you guys can stay up to date with all the VR content we post. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go and cue up the trailer and check this bad boy out. I'm gonna go and crank the volume up. Let's watch this bad boy. Man, it's still unbelievable, like the photorealistic environments that I saw in this, man. Like I cannot get over the fact, like even the lighting, how the transfer of that, man, that's incredible to me. And if this is actually realistic gameplay and it's not just someone walking in with like a GoPro and like, you know, faking the footage, like this looks like gameplay, 100% gameplay. And my first concerns is when I saw this, I started to think of like if this was like one of those live action like games where basically like it shows pre-recorded footage and then you react by like clicking, you know, dispatch or whatever. Like I've seen other games do something to that style where you're technically this character in the game, but you're not actually playing. You're more or less watching and then reacting to the situation by making a choice, kind of based on like butterfly effect games and stuff like that, which this could be a ruse for that. Like, I haven't really seen someone walking around, like, using keyboard and mouse or controller and using free look. Like, it certainly could be that, but, you know, that's just what I think.
Shots fired!
It's like,
Shots
right
fired.
there, how are you going to implement that into a gameplay element? I don't understand it. And if, maybe I'm just crazy, but this would be phenomenal. If this is, like, actually truthful gameplay, and you can actually do this, like, moving with your keyboard and mouse WASD movement, this is gonna be unbelievable. Like, this is the first of its kind. And that's another thing to mention right here that I found really fascinating and something that's like really nice to add into this effect is like, especially with like body cam footage, whether it be from like, you know, policemen or whatever, something that I found as like a really nice touch was the fact that they blurred out the face on the body cam footage. And I'm like, that is just such like an attention to detail thing. And like, if that's actually in the gameplay elements and this isn't just like a live action like response type of game, this is gonna be nuts, dude. It's gonna be nuts. And like, just looking at the environment, man, like the kicks obviously look fake. That's where I can be like, it screams gameplay to me. But still, the way it all interacts with the environment, I love this. Like, environmental factors for games are seriously, like, a make or break for me, man. Like, if you can make something look this freaking good, like the grunginess of the walls, even, like, the reflections on the water and whatever else there, too, it just looks so nice. And, like, this is the dream in a VR headset, man. I would love to have this. Like, running, like, mechanics there, like, obviously look a bit more, you know, a bit more animation-based. But, like, man, if this is real, I can't imagine what this is gonna stir up. Like, both for like crazy like infiltration videos like within the game, but also it's gonna be like there's gonna be both positive and negative press. Like, no doubt about it. Like, if people are looking at this footage and they're questioning if it is real or not, like, is this gameplay or is this actually like a real video? That's where we've like crossed that borderline, man. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think it's cool because I'm always about like, you know, pushing the graphic fidelity of games forward, but this is such an intense thing, man. And there you go. And that is the trailer for Unrecord. But like I was saying, like the fact that there's some of these shots where you look at it and it's almost hard to distinguish whether or not it's like reality or if it's a game. Like that is incredible. And if they actually have free look movement where like you can have a different button to actually like move your, move your gun that way on a flat screen, that's awesome. I still believe if this is a truly not fake and this isn't just a ruse for social media, this could potentially be such a great VR implementation. And speaking of that, this is why you see the title, you see the thumbnail. This is something that I found super awesome. So, I went and checked out Flat to VR. I'll be leaving credits down in the description below if you guys want to go check the original post. But this is the Unrecord Demo, and it's running the Lumen and Nanite UE5. And this, strangely enough, take a good look at this. This is my first time watching this too, so I'm actually just gonna like kind of let it roll and just talk while we look through this. But the fact that he is walking through the environment right now, the environments are at least real. Like that's something that we can all agree on, is the fact like they actually made this photorealistic environment and it works with a VR headset, bro. I am so excited for Prey Dog's like universal mod for like VR implementation. I know it's like both 50-50. Some people like it, some people don't. But I'm a huge rooter. I definitely think it's gonna be huge for VR, man. Like this is incredible, especially if you can get like full like 6'd off and like motion controls, man. We are talking like a huge jump in fidelity for VR experiences, man. Like, just look at this. If I could see this in the freaking headset, oh my god. This is just unbelievable, man. I really hope this is not fake. I mean, seeing this on Flat 2 VR, I feel like, dude, you can even read the text on the book. Bro, I'm gonna be real. Most VR games, their quality isn't good enough to read something like that. The fact you can crouch down and actually read the lettering, because it's that photorealistic. Oh my, and just the lighting, like peering through the windows, man, and how it adjusts as you walk through the room depending on like where the lighting's actually coming in from. Like UE5 games in general, like not just Unrecord, but like just VR games in general of what's to come from UE5. This is what's got me so excited for the future of VR, man. Like, we're just getting started. Most games are being made in, like, Unity and then Unreal 4, but I haven't seen a lot of them utilizing that UE5, man. And, like, if we can get a game to this level, this will definitely put a huge halt to all the haters of VR, man. You know what I mean? Like, oh, VR looks like a potato, whatever. And it's like, bro, look at this. This is running in a VR headset. This guy is walking around with an HMD, and it's running perfectly. Perfectly. I mean, obviously, you're probably going to have your PC sounding like a freaking, like a jet engine. But regardless, man, it's possible. It's possible, man. And this has got me so excited. I hope this project isn't fake. I freaking hope it's not fake. They have this demo to help add a little bit more credibility, but I'm still skeptical. I don't want to get my hopes up. Because, like, this right here, this reminds me of the original Twitter one. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was, like, in really bad quality, because obviously it's a Twitter render. But this guy was, like, running through, like, this hallway, it seemed like, and he was shooting out into the trees and, like, whatever, and, like, showing off the pistols and, like, the body cam footage. This was, like, the original map that they developed, if I remember correctly. So it looks a lot better than what it did initially. And, like, this was over the course of... How long was it that they've been working on this project? Because I feel like I've only really seen it over the last year, if I remember correctly. But, like, just that lighting, man. Like, the instant we can get that, like, volumetric in a VR headset environment and have that be, like, the expectation for VR games. Like, if that sets the bar for, like, PC VR, we're talking some incredible stuff. And I want to go and just, like, play this while we're kind of talking. But I honestly think with how VR has been over the course of like the last 4 to 5 years, man, the jump in like whether it be just game mechanics, game visuals, everything, man. Even just AAA studios like coming and dropping titles too. Like obviously a lot of AAAs unfortunately kind of fall short compared to a lot of the indie studios that you see, but man, this still has me so incredibly excited for the future of VR. But something I definitely want to discuss as this is rolling is, what do you guys feel about this game? And like, I don't want anything like political. I try to keep everything very neutral on this channel. But more or less, like, what do you guys feel about this game? Like, do you think it's too far? Do you think it's too intense? What are your feelings about it? Because I've seen like two sides of the coin, and I can totally like understand it from both sides of the view. But like for me, I know it's a gaming environment, and I understand it's a game. And like, I want to push for like the highest fidelity of gaming to make it as realistic as possible. But for that, there's also the other coin of people thinking it's too realistic and it's gonna put like the wrong message in people's heads and this, that, and the other. And I can totally understand that. But at the end of the day, like, we're talking about a game here. This isn't real life. This is a game. And for me, like, the gamer side of me is pushing for that. I'm like, I want to see it. I want to see the potential of gaming. I want to see how realistic we can get. I want to see where this can go. But also another part of me can resonate with others that disagree with the statement of, like, they think it's going too far. But I don't know, man. I've been playing VR for a while, and as you guys know, my channel grew a lot off of Blade and Sorcery, which is literally just like slicing people's heads off and whatever, which is like literally a murderer sandbox. So I mean, in the same way, I don't know how much I have say in this, but for me, I'm excited. That's what I can say. I think it's gonna be a great game if it's actually real. That's the biggest thing. I don't want to get my hopes up too much, because honestly, I don't know how realistic, you know, a game that has that free roam ability and free aim is, dude. Like, I don't know. I'm still hesitant. I don't want to get my hopes up. But something to me that is so cool is, like, even if we didn't get... Oh, whoops. I just skipped to a Ghost of Tabor video. Oops. Give me 2 seconds. But the most exciting part to me is, like, even if this game, like, for VR-wise, didn't come out with, like, the actual shooting, I would be so down just to walk through this environment. Like, honestly, I want to see more UE5, like, environment demos like this, where I could just walk in my VR headset and just use that locomotion and just walk through these environments and, like, check out the lighting and see how it performs. Like, to me, I love exploration. And I'm sure some of you guys have seen my Bone Lab video where I just went and explored this random 7-Eleven. And to me, the whole idea of exploring something that's abandoned or has, like, a story behind it and whatever, like, even if there's not, like, a lot of craziness to it, like, just the fact of exploring it, like, I would die to just walk through this, like, and just see this in the headset and experience it. Because, like, to me, exploration is so fun. It's like when I was younger, like, going to abandoned, you know, like, spots where people have, like, a ton of graffiti or abandoned, like, parking garages or whatever. Like, I love the idea of abandoned buildings, like, because there's so much story behind it. And it's like, how did it happen? Why is it abandoned? Like, there's just so much behind it that I enjoy to look into. And I mean, obviously, it's usually not, like, the safest environment, to be completely real, but the inner adventurer in me just, like, it loves it, man. I love it, you know? Like, it's just, it's so cool. And having a game like this, even if I didn't have a pistol to go around and, like, you know, shoot enemies as we go through it, I would be so down just to walk through this. Like, I get massive Saints and Sinners vibes, like, walking through this. It reminds me of, like, the school district, when you're, like, walking through the school. Like, that's what I think of when I see this. And to be able to walk through that with this graphic fidelity in a VR environment, I can't imagine. Like, I'm not kidding you. This would probably be the highest graphics I've seen since Kayak VR. And that game is incredible. If you guys have not played that yet, and you have a VR headset, 100% recommend. It is a gorgeous game. It's like literally the first VR game to make me cry because how good it looked. And I'm not even kidding. Like, it seriously made me cry. And I'm sure if I were to walk through this, like, there's no way I wouldn't be crying, dude. Because, like, I can see better in a VR headset than I can IRL. So, like, to see something to, like, this degree and just be able to walk through it, like, I don't even know what emotions would be going through me, man. Like, I'm excited. I want to hope that Unrecord is real, and hopefully, like, none of this is just a ruse for, like, social media. I pray to God that this is real. And like I said in the title, too, this is coming to VR. If it's real, it's going to be coming to VR with Prey Dog's upcoming Universal mod. So I'm excited to see when the VR injector actually becomes like, you know, open source and is allowed to a lot of developers and is allowed to the community. Like, I'm just excited to see the future of VR gaming, and whether or not it's even to just Unrecord or just other VR titles in general. Like, dude, Ready or Not. Like, imagine seeing Ready or Not with a VR motion control supported game, dude. Like, that would be unbelievable. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for me. All I really wanted to do was sit down, talk about Unrecord, show off some of the gameplay, and then also cover the fact that Prey Dog's upcoming Universal mod is actually available for Unrecord. So, like, I don't know what to think. My emotions are all over the place. I am so excited for this title. Honestly, whether it's negative or positive from, like, social media or whatever, I'm excited for it. I want to see the future of this game. I really want to hope it's real, and hopefully I get a chance to try it. Anyways, guys, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, keep it toasty, my friends. Laters. I got some shells for you, boy. Oh, it's in his eye. Oh, I fixed it. I would have died.
Well, right here.
Armageddon! Yeah! Why in the heck do you not have clothes? You took my banana, and now you must suffer the consequences!